Hello YouTube! My name's John, and today I'm playing Transfusion. What the fuck is Transfusion, you might be asking? Well, it's a remake of the game Blood, the first-person shooter from the late 90s, in the Quake engine, using the DarkPlaces source port. This originally started out as a Quake mod, but it has since evolved into a standalone free-to-play game. Yes, free, as in you don't need Quake or Blood to play it. The idea and the goal, I should say, is to recreate the entire game, including the single player. This is actually a beta, so the single player is not available yet, but multiplayer is available, so I figured I would use that as the demonstrating point. So, before I keep rambling on, let me just go ahead and jump into a match here. A bot match, to be specific. Yeah, and alright. You might recognize this map. This was one of my favorite maps in the multiplayer days of the late 90s. This is fun with heads. Unfortunately, the zombie head that's supposed to be in the middle of this level does not exist yet. They haven't added that in. But, here, let me just go ahead and give you a tour, though. As you can see, all the weapons have been recreated. And with the alternate fires. Life leech. All the items are here. There's the dynamite. Set a dynamite on the ground, or you can just light the fuse and throw it and wait for it to explode. Of course, this is probably one of the most famous weapons here, the aerosol can. Or, of course, you can light the aerosol can on fire and throw it at somebody. Let's see. Got the armor types, of course, the various types of explosives, like the proxy bombs. You don't want to get near those. Then there's this weapon, of course. Perhaps the most powerful weapon in the entire game, the Tesla cannon. Got the good old Tommy gun. Always fun to use that one. But let's add some bots in here, shall we? I got an unfair advantage because I picked up a bunch of weapons. Oh shit.
Finish him.
Good old fatalities. Ooh, and the voodoo doll, of course. How could I forget about this one? Stabbing in the nuts and everything. Oh! Completely missed. You really gotta be, well, see, I've disabled auto-aim, so, you really gotta aim those voodoo doll shots. Used to be voodoo doll really worked off of, oh yes, the flare gun, of course. Used to be, the voodoo doll really worked off of auto-aim, but, you know. Oh, well, that was just terrible. God, there's no armor that resists this weapon. That's why I always thought it was so cheap. Because, like, you can get fire armor and spirit armor and all that shit, but none of it really matters with this thing. Oh. Seriously? There we go. Jeez. I heard that. Now, you might be wondering, how in the hell is all of this legal? Well, that's a great question, and honestly, I don't have a completely solid answer for you, but here's what I can tell you. So, the whole reason this project got started is because you know how, well, games like Doom and Quake, Duke Nukem, various first-person shooters from the 90s, they all have source ports. Why? Because eventually the companies who created them released the source code for them. Anyway, so, unfortunately though, the guys who created Blood never released the source code. The story in a nutshell goes like this. Monolith released this game, eventually Monolith got bought out by, I want to say... Well, hold on, let me backtrack on that for a second. This game was produced, or I think published, I should say, by GT Interactive, which is now defunct. GT Interactive became Infograms, and then Infograms merged with Atari, and then Atari became Warner Brothers. I think I got all that right. Anyway, within all of those transactions, okay, so originally the Blood rights was owned by GT Interactive because they published it. So for some reason, you know, all these games got released with their source codes, but for some reason Monolith lost the source code, and apparently GT was the one who held it. And despite numerous fans trying to get them to release it, GT just doesn't seem to care. Well, of course, at this point now it's Atari and Warner Brothers and what have you, so they especially don't care. They're just not listening, basically. They have bigger fish to fry. They're Warner Brothers, they're Atari, they just don't give a shit. Which is unfortunate because, you know, it'd be great. Of course now, you know, people play with DOSBox while I'm playing terribly because I'm trying to explain this whole thing. People play with DOSBox, so I mean, you can play Blood without a source port, but people are like, you know, but we want to be able to turn off auto aim. We want to be able to have mouse look. We want to be able to add dynamic lighting. All the stuff you're seeing here in this little remake. You know? That's why people like source ports. That's why I like them, at least. Suck on that. Anyway, so let's get back to the reason why this particular game exists. So, they haven't released the source code, right? So there's no source port. Undaunted, the team behind this whole Transfusion game decided they were going to remake the game from scratch. In fact, apparently, you know, they wanted to call it Transfusion to avoid the copyright, but they actually talked to Jason Hall, the, like, kind of the mastermind behind this game. Hang on. Let me switch over to a more familiar and less crazy level. Anyway, so Jason Hall, the creator of Blood, the kind of executive producer of Blood, and I think still the president of Monolith, maybe the CEO, one of those two, I don't really remember. Anyway, the guys who made this mod asked him about it, and actually he gave them his full blessing, his full go-ahead. And in fact, apparently some of the coders of Blood have been offering assets to these guys. So, I don't know how exactly that's legal, but I don't know. The creators of the game said it's okay. Somehow...
That gasoline I smell.
That was weird. I never heard him say that before, ever. Like, literally in all my years playing Blood, I have never heard Caleb say that. So yeah, so apparently this is a game that is blessed by the original creators of Blood. I particularly love that weapon. I always thought it was weird and awesome. Anyway. Oh yes. And akimbo. So there you have it. That's exactly why this game exists. Again, you might be wondering, how the hell is any of this legal? That is still a great question, because, I mean, you would think that the copyright would be owned by Warner, so that they could technically box them at any moment, right? But they haven't yet. And I'm really glad they haven't, because this game deserves a remake. They're probably never going to make a sequel to Blood after Blood 2. Blood 2 was not that successful, if I recall. So, I don't think a new Blood is in our future. This is the new Blood that is in our future, basically. I would say. I'm doing bad this time. Ooh. That's so overpowered. I'm whooping some serious ass right now. I did tone down the bots a little bit. You can change the difficulty of the bots when you start a game. That skill section that you may have seen. God, you really have to aim that thing, I'm telling you. If you don't aim it, then it's worthless. I thought there was a secret around here. This one was like right here. Or I thought it might have been in this corner. No? Alright. I'll pick up that. Whoa. Haha! Oh! My victorious stab was short-lived. Ooh, armor. I'm nearly dead. Oh, shit. I love those voiceovers whenever he kills someone. Boned! Hamburger! My favorite probably is scrotum separation. Oh, crap. Don't die. Don't die. You want some?
Dog meat.
Shotgun. Ooh, there we go. Oh. Man, that weapon is so freaking powerful. There we go. Got a couple kills there. Ow. Hey. Fuck off. Oh.
Madness.
That's one thing I wish you could do, is change... I mean, maybe you can. Maybe there's a way to edit the DM flags, but... You know, I'd love to make weapons stay. I think that would definitely be a nice feature. Because running around trying to stab each other, while very fun, gets old after a while. Oh, shit. I get a final kill in here. Oh, yeah! There we go. Let's try a different one. Bit of Cerebus. We also have some Blood 2 maps here. Admittedly, I am less familiar with Blood 2, but let's just go ahead and check it out. Interesting. There's a napalm launcher. I am very less familiar with Quake. Blood 2's multiplayer. Played a little bit of single player back in the day.
Talented.
Oh! Yeah, spawn me right next to the Tesla guy. Ow. I can't even see the people attacking. Roxy bombs. Maybe some of you are familiar with this map, but I'm gonna go ahead and swap it. Let's do Area 15. Oh, you frickin' stole that from me, you bastard! There we go. Oh,
Good one.
bastards. Have fun with those. There we go, that's how you do it. Well, I got one kill out of all that. I think a bunch of people were stealing my shit. Oh! Yeah, you don't charge at someone with a Tommy gun. We know this now. Ooh, dynamite though. Oh crap. Oh. I'm seeing ammo for it, but I'm not finding the weapon. Ooh, well here we go. And, oh man. Now we're rocking. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Oh shit. That's what I'm talking about. Come here. Oh, oh. Do not let my... Oh! My reign has ended. After so many. Oh shit. Okay, I'm hopping away. I like how they changed the hopping, you know, the jump really feels accurate. Bastard.
Dog meat.
I really like that. It feels very much like you're jumping in blood. Like, jumping in blood, that sounds really weird. What did you do today? You know, I was just jumping in some blood. No big deal. Now, I don't know how accurate those, dynamite bounces are. I don't remember the physics of blood very much. This all sounds really weird, because I'm saying blood as in, you know, a physical object. Liquid object. Sustenance thing. But, you know, I mean, just, it's the name of the game. I mean, that's just what they call it. You ever tried Googling this game? I mean, really, it's not that, you have to be very specific. Oh yeah, I'm climbing back up now. Come here. Oh, bastard. Damn. Gotta find some more ammo quick. Ooh, I want that. I want that. Give me that. Sweet. Oh. Oh, somebody beat me. I was 3 frags away. Well, so yeah, they have some Blood 2 levels. They have some, they have Cryptic Passage levels. Or at least one of them. Only the Unholy Cathedral, but let's see what else we got here. Of course, we have all the Bloodbath levels, but I think we'll end on a couple of custom maps here. Let's see. Oh! I think we should end with this one. I mean, there's a variety of new custom maps, but I think we need to do this one. Clearly, we need to play on a Quake 1 level. Alright. Definitely will need that fire armor. What do we got? Ooh, napalm launcher. Oh, yeah. Well, good thing I have fire armor. Well, it's slowly running out. Oh shit, I'm dead. Okay, gotta find something good. Something good. Shotgun shells are nice. Out of my way. Seek weaponry. Oh! Smashed me. Son of a bitch. Oh! Lots of fire weapons, I noticed. Again, one thing, if I could complain about something, really just needs the ability to let weapons stay. I'm just so used to that now in Deathmatch. I guess this is old school style Deathmatch, so I can't complain too much. Oh.
Scrotum separation.
There it is, scrotum separation. I just love that quote. I don't know why. I mean, it's particularly gruesome, I get that, but I mean, I don't know, it's just hilarious to me. Scrotum separation. This is a very much nostalgic game. I used to play this back in the day. And I still think this is a fun game. A particularly gruesome game, I might admit, but I mean, very fun. You get to light people on fire, you get to use voodoo dolls, crazy artifacts, Tommy guns. One of my favorite double-barrel shotguns in shooting history. Oh. I mean, you know, nothing beats the Doom one in my opinion, but yes. Oh, and you get to stab people with a pitchfork. I mean, you know, these were the days, man. The 90s, man. The 90s was the heyday. Not like today. Oh, God. No, I'm just going to stop myself there before I get into a political rant about the nature of video games today. Anyway, so this is Transfusion. And I think it's pretty freaking awesome. Let's see if we can finish off this round here. Alright. Let's see how we handle this. Now, of course, you can set this thing up like a sentry gun, which I always thought was kind of useless. Well, it just got a kill, so maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'll just let it sit there and see if we can get some kills out of it. It's still firing away over there. I don't know if it's really working, though. Let me grab that thing again. Okay. Grab some health over here. Of course, you know, if you run out of ammo with this thing, it leeches off your health. Oh, well, at least we have all that. There we go. Alright, a couple more kills and we're good. Oh, come on. Got this. Oh, come on. Well, I guess that's kind of a balance thing. Even a man with a Tesla cannon can be killed by just a simple pitchfork. Like that, for example. Okay. So there you go, that's Transfusion. Again, it's free, it's awesome. I don't know if people are actually playing it anymore. You'll notice, you know, it's all kind of TCP/IP style, so... although you might be able to find... I mean, here, let's do join a game. I mean, maybe you could find it if you have some sort of DarkPlaces sort of, you know, server finder program. Maybe you could find some games. I personally haven't checked as of this recording. I probably should have before I, you know, dove into this, but... check and see if there's any games for this. Maybe people are still playing it, and if not... you should start one yourself, goddammit. Get this game back on the spotlight. Anyway, so there you go. That's Transfusion. You should totally check it out. Of course, I'll leave links in the description below. And yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in another video. Alright, later.